The story of the resurrection is not just one event, but a series of explosions of light in a world that had gone dark. It begins in silence. Friday had been a nightmare of blood and screams. The sky had turned black at noon, the temple curtain had torn in two, and now, on Saturday, the Sabbath, Jerusalem held its breath. Jesus of Nazareth was dead. Not just dead, but defeated. His followers were scattered, hiding in locked rooms, their hope buried with him. The religious leaders had made sure of it. They asked Pilate for a guard, and the heavy stone was rolled against the tomb. A Roman seal was placed upon it. The story was over. The women, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome, knew it wasn't over. They couldn't leave him there. So while it was still pitch black, before the sun had even thought of rising, they bought spices and walked through the cold, damp streets toward the garden tomb. They were weeping, they were afraid, and they had one practical worry. Who will roll the stone away for us? It was too heavy for women to move. When they arrived, the earth shook. It wasn't a violent quake of destruction, but a tremor of power. An angel of the Lord, bright as lightning, descended from heaven. He didn't roll the stone away to let Jesus out. He rolled it away to let them in. The guards fainted, becoming like dead men. The angel sat on the stone and looked at the trembling women. "Do not be afraid," he said, his voice like thunder and yet like a whisper. "I know you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He has risen just as he said. Come and see the place where he lay." Inside, the tomb was empty. The linen wrappings were there, folded neatly, not the chaotic mess of a grave robber, but the tidy remains of a man who had simply passed through them like light through glass. The women stood there, stunned. Then the angel gave them the first great commission. "Go quickly and tell his disciples he has risen from the dead and is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him." So they ran. Fear and great joy wrestled in their chests. They ran to tell the 11, but the men thought they were delirious. "Nonsense," Peter said, shaking his head. But Peter and John, the beloved disciple, they had to see for themselves. They ran. John outran Peter, but waited for him at the door. They went in. They saw the linen cloths, and the scripture says he saw and believed. But they still didn't understand, so they went home, confused. Mary Magdalene stayed behind. She couldn't leave. She stood outside the tomb, sobbing, peering into the darkness. She bent down to look inside one last time. 2 angels in white sat there. "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she wept, "and I don't know where they have put him." She turned around. A man was standing there. In her grief, she didn't recognize him. She thought he was the gardener. "Sir," she said, "if you have carried him away, tell me where you put him, and I will get him." The man spoke one word: "Mary." It wasn't a shout. It was the voice that had cast 7 demons out of her. It was the voice that had taught her about the kingdom. She spun around. "Rabboni," which means teacher. She reached out to grab him, to hold on to him forever, to make sure he never left again. "Do not hold on to me," Jesus said gently. "I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples, weeping no longer. "I have seen the Lord," she cried. That same day, 2 followers were walking away from Jerusalem. Their names were Cleopas and his friend. They were walking the 7 miles to the village of Emmaus, their heads down, their hearts broken. "We had hoped he was the one to redeem Israel," Cleopas said, kicking a stone in the road. "And now, 3 days. The chief priest said he was a fraud. The Romans killed him. It's over." A stranger joined them on the road. "What are you talking about?" he asked. They stopped, stunned. "Are you the only one in Jerusalem who doesn't know what happened?" "What happened?" So they told him. They told him about the prophet from Nazareth, the miracles, the trial, the cross. "But that was 3 days ago," they sighed. "Some women went to the tomb this morning and said they saw angels, that he was alive. Peter and John ran there and found it empty, but they didn't see him." The stranger sighed too. "How foolish you are, and how slow to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did not the Messiah have to suffer these things and then enter his glory?" And for the next 7 miles, as the sun began to set, this stranger opened the scriptures to them. Starting with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. They didn't know who he was, but their hearts began to burn within them. When they reached Emmaus, the stranger acted as if he were going further. "Stay with us," they begged him. "It is getting late." He agreed. He sat at the table with them. He took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. Snap! Their eyes were opened. They recognized him, and in that instant, he vanished from their sight. They looked at each other. Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked to us on the road? They didn't eat. They didn't sleep. They turned around and ran back to Jerusalem in the dark. The disciples were huddled in the upper room. The doors were locked. They were terrified the Jews would come for them next. Suddenly, Jesus was standing among them. He hadn't come through the door. "Peace be with you," he said. They were startled and frightened, thinking they saw a ghost. "Why are you troubled?" he asked. "Look at my hands and my feet. It is I myself. Touch me and see. A ghost does not have flesh and bones as you see I have." To prove it, he asked for something to eat. They gave him a piece of broiled fish. He took it and ate it in front of them. They were overjoyed, but still disbelieving. And Thomas wasn't there. When Thomas came back, they told him, "We have seen the Lord." Thomas crossed his arms. "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands and put my finger where the nails were and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." A week later, the doors were locked again. Thomas was there. Jesus appeared again. "Peace be with you." He walked over to Thomas. "Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe." Thomas fell to his knees. "My Lord and my God." Jesus smiled. "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Jesus appeared many times after that. He cooked breakfast for his disciples on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. He restored Peter, asking him 3 times, "Do you love me?" He walked with them on a mountain in Galilee and gave him his final command. "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, and surely I am with you always to the end of the age." Then, as they watched, he was lifted up. A cloud hid him from their sight. They stood there, necks craned, staring at the empty sky. 2 men in white appeared beside them. "Men of Galilee," they said, "why do you stand here looking into the sky? This same Jesus who has been taken from you into heaven will come back in the same way you have seen him go." The disciples didn't go home to hide anymore. They went back to Jerusalem, praising God in the temple courts. The stone was rolled away. The tomb was empty, and the world would never be the same. If this story moved you, subscribe to Timeless Tales of Faith and share this message of hope, because this is not just history, it is victory.